All right. Welcome in H Town. You are now tuned in to The Solid Grip, coming to you live in five. No time for jive. I'm your host, J.R. Wilson, alongside me, Ping Wilson. And look, we coming to bring you that hot fever. Before we get started, there's a few things that you need to know about us. One, this is the show that's bringing the flavor to your wings, the barbecue sauce for your ribs, the flavor for your chicken, the sugar for your Kool-Aid, not your tank. Don't get it misconstrued or twisted. You understand? That's one thing you need to know first. The second thing is that we need you to share this link with your people, with your partners, with your family. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, which is The Solid Grip. Also, hit that little bell so you don't miss a thing from The Solid Grip. All right. So, first off, let's get into this. Pop, man. How you doing?
Doing great, Rich. Great week of sports. A lot to unpack today.
Yes, sir. Nevertheless, man, what's going on, Allendale? Good to see you, man. No, man, nobody's dissing you. I just forgot. So forgive me, man. I'm asking for forgiveness, Mr. Allendale. But yeah, man, we do got a lot to unpack, Pop. So let's just get straight off into it, man, and don't even play with it, man. So first of all, let me put this at the bottom. So I just want y'all to make sure to, like, subscribe, comment. All right. So that's gonna be at the bottom. It's a new little feature. I like this on here. So yeah, let's scroll on down so we can get okay. It don't want to scroll down. Oh, this is the kind of problems we're dealing with right off the rip. Okay. Hold on just 1 second. Here we go. All right. So first of all, Pop, um, I spoke to a man in O'Reilly's, and he said to me, "Hey man, the Rockets gonna get swept by the Lakers." And I said, "Well, I don't think so. As much as I love LeBron James, and even though as much as I love the Houston Rockets, I'm a Houston fan. I was born and raised here. It's not gonna happen that way, for a bevy of reasons. But one reason I gave him in particular was the Lakers' perimeter defense is awful. And when you playing a small ball team who all the players are on the perimeter, you have to bring those bad perimeter defensive players up, and then you create lanes for Harden, the likes of Westbrook, the likes of Eric Gordon to drive the hole and make a bucket, man, or draw a foul and go to the line and make them pay for it there. So, no, the Rockets are not going to get swept. Obviously, we took game one. We gave the Lakers a good beating. Now, I know we will adjust, Pop. I know, excuse me, I know the Lakers will adjust, and this second game ain't going to be so easy. But right now, man, the Rockets are in control. I'm not saying I still pick the Lakers to win the whole thing, but I would not be surprised if the Rockets pulled this series off. Tell me how you feel about that, Pop.
It wouldn't surprise me either, Rich. But let's back up, man. Let's back up to uh, Wednesday night. Okay. By the way, for those of you who talk about Mike D'Antoni and him not being a defensive-minded coach, the Rockets are the best defensive team in the bubble. That said, that block that James Harden made against OKC reminded me so much, and we've tried to get on tape, but we couldn't get it. The block that Olajuwon made against the Knicks, sixth game of the series in 19, I want to say 93, 94, one of those seasons, against John Starks. If John Starks hit that shot, there's no repeat for the Rockets because the Knicks are going home as the world champions, okay? And if you go back and you Google that shot, John Starks had been red hot. He came off a high screen, was wide open. Olajuwon probably, they say he got his fingernails on the ball because he deflected it enough that it didn't go in. Okay? All that did was send the Rockets to game seven. They had to win game seven, which they did. This sent the Rockets to the second round of the playoffs. Guys, there is no telling what would have happened if he makes that shot. James Harden didn't block that shot. I'm not sure he would have tore the team down, tore the team up, the owner, but I'm sure that Mike D'Antoni would have been gone.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
and maybe even either Westbrook or Harden. This city was clamoring. They wanted them out of here after losing that 2-game lead. So hey, tip my hat to the Rockets and to Daryl Morey, to D'Antoni, and all the other members of the coaching staff. Now let's fast forward to the game on Friday night. I'm gonna say this again. I'm a bigger LeBron James fan than you are, Rich. They
Oh,
are
I
extremely
know, and as soon as you finish, I got something for you
okay.
pertaining to that. I'm about to fire you up, put some feet under
Okay,
you, fire
they
under your feet. Go ahead.
okay. They are in serious trouble. Okay, because a 25-year-old LeBron James could shut some of that mess down. Not a 35-year-old LeBron James that's got to have the ball in his hand 95% of the time. Rob Palenko, you need to be run out of Dodge. What a bunch of mess you done put together in LA, and you want LeBron James to win with that mess, man. Come
Yeah,
on now. He don't have a decent shooter on the team. Not one. Okay, if you go back and look at what he had when he was at Cleveland, what he had when he was with Miami, he had shooters all around him.
yeah,
He was rescuing guys off the jump. He that could shoot the basketball, man. He has no shooters. Okay, granted, he and AD didn't play well, and so they're gonna have to play well. Great for the Lakers to even keep this thing from being a sweep
right.
or down in six. I mean, I'm done in six. But what a bunch of junk they got, and I'll say that any day. I'll say that to anybody. I mean, between him and Anthony Davis, that is it, man. Okay, Kyle Kuzma is fake news. Okay, and I don't even like using that word. But Kyle Kuzma talked to the Bus family into keeping him. He should have been right in that trade to New Orleans. He should have been got his butt out of Town. Okay, so that all that said, the Rockets are in great shape because they're gonna keep piling up that trade ball, and sooner or later, they're gonna hit some. They're gonna miss a lot, but they're gonna hit some. You can't guard that. When the floor is
Y-
spread like that and stuff, and you got everybody, all five of the rotation guys can drive the ball to the hole. All of them can kick it. They're gonna get open shots, man. They are gonna get open shots.
Yeah, I want to first of all shout out Roberto Zamora. Thank you for watching, man. But Pop, man, I want to just put a little fire under your feet. I know we're doing rapid fire, so let me go on and
Okay.
put a little fire under your feet.
All
Now I
right.
love you. Now I love you. It's all out of hilarity. But
Okay.
someone seems to disagree with you, okay? And I'm gonna put it up here so that you can see. You see what he said? You just
You
protecting
you just
Labubu.
protecting
He talk
LeBron.
Labubu talking about LeBron James.
I'm gonna
Okay.
come back with something a little more serious than that, but I'm gonna wait till November 3rd to come back with that. Okay, late by 12:30. We got to come back for that. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Nah,
gonna wait.
I thought that was funny, man, because you know, Allendale, we know that you are partial to Michael Jordan, okay, because you're from Illinois, the Chicago area. That's fine. That's fine, okay. Um, you don't forget that Michael Jordan did not win his championships until he had the right team around him, okay? He went to the playoffs every year, right, from his rookie year, but he didn't win a championship till he got the right players around him. Nobody can win it on their own. LeBron is the only person that took a trash team, not like oh, this team is really good. They got potential. No, a trash team. He took them all the way to the finals. Now they got swept, but he took them all the way there. So I don't think Jordan did that, man. Just to fire you up a little bit, Mr. Allendale over there. But anyway, Pop, we're gonna move right along, man. I just wanted to put that on your mind real quick. Man, we got to talk about baseball, man. I'm concerned big time for the Astros, man. They even though they're missing so many players, man, and shout out to Justin Verlander, man. He gave a big shout out video to Deshaun Watson, man, for the big cut that Deshaun got yesterday, and he's looking good, looking spry. But we got a lot of players missing, man, and we still are fighting. But man, we losing games down the stretch, man. I mean, we got walked off 3 games in a row. Games that we were up, games that the bats were on, and man, just not having Verlander there, man. Lance McCullers is like a light switch. He on and off. The Astros are not in line to win a championship. They will get in the playoffs. They will make a little noise, maybe get past the first round and then get knocked out. But as far as World Series, that's out the door. Now the Yankees, however, Judge is coming back. Okay. They're gonna be fine. Yeah, they lost a few
You
games. A few guys
crazy?
went, huh?
Who you fooling? You ain't got to make me feel good. We may not even make to the playoffs.
I
Are you
mean, I
kidding me?
understand your biased opinion because of the fall that y'all have had, but man, y'all been hurt, man. And Garrett Cole is gonna find his chi, man, with his pitcher, man. I
Rich,
mean, go ahead.
Rich. He was throwing a no hitter last night for the first 5 innings. In
Hmm.
the bottom of the 6 innings, the Orioles, not the Red Sox, not the Dodgers, the Orioles unloaded on him for 5 runs. He's 4-3, Rich.
Yeah,
He's four
yeah.
and three. Hey man, listen, we are in serious trouble of not even making the playoffs, man.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm serious, and if we get there, I hope somebody going on broom us out so we won't get been embarrassed, man. But listen, they may have to send Sanchez down to the minors. He batting 130, man, 1 freaking 30. I mean, hey man, it is crazy, man. I
He
mean,
started
I,
out bad though, man. He didn't get his first knock. I think it was a home run. His first hit, he got to like
oh, he's
the
hitting
fourth or
home
fifth
runs.
game.
Every
Yeah,
every 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 70 at bats he hit a home run. But Rich, they got to they bench him, okay? Because he's hitting so bad, and then he's not very good defensively, man. The only reason that he was in the lineup because he could hit the long ball.
right.
But Judge and standing them out, man. I mean, oh man, it's terrible to watch, man. I mean,
Yeah.
they got beat again today by the Orioles 5-1. Some rookie pitcher, man, almost shut them down. Terrible, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
now our
hey,
problems are very, very similar, man. I mean, between the Astros and the Yankees, which I think is probably the biggest feud in the league right now, man, as far as rivals are concerned, they got some of the same problems. But let me ask you a serious question, Pop. And I
okay.
haven't really had time to consider this, but right now we do see the Astros and Yankees struggling. Who is the team in the AL that you think is going to come up and
Uh,
make noise in the
I haven't even
playoffs?
looked at it, Rich. I'll scroll over there real quick. But I know that Cleveland has been playing well. I think the Minnesota Twins have been playing well. Tampa Bay 28-13.
I was gonna
Okay,
say I was surprised you didn't say anything about the Rays, man, because the
yeah.
Rays are atop y'all's division right
Uh,
now,
after
and they
they
looking good,
top that
man.
division, man. I mean, I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, so yeah. I mean, we hanging on, man. I'm telling you, we are the eighth place team right now. Okay, we
Right,
are the eighth place team. We're tied with the Astros. If y'all lose today, we'll be tied. Right now, y'all in seventh. We in eighth. So hey, man, we can't do nothing. I mean, it's not our year, man. You know, I think that coronavirus that hit New York so hard affected all our players, both physically and mentally. Uh, uh, our closer, Aronis Chapman, is just terrible. He is terrible. Okay, he can't he can't throw a fastball across the plate, so he's throwing 83 miles per hour sliders, and they hitting them in the Hudson River. Man, it's just I mean sick, man. I'm being honest with
hey,
you.
hey, now the funny thing,
Hey
I'm,
man,
I'm.
listen, they were
Go
leading.
ahead.
Listen to me, bitch. They were leading the other night, 7-6. Bottom of the seventh inning. I went to bed, man, because I said, "Hey, I'm running Chapman in. They're gonna lose." Woke up the next morning, they had lost. I'm calling a spade, dog.
Yeah, now, there
Hey,
was laughter added,
you guys at least got a candidate for the MVP, Kyle Tucker, who everybody in Houston was ready to trade after 2 weeks. Okay, he's
including
the
me.
best ball player now.
Including me. I was an advocate of trading Kyle Tucker, but whenever I talk about players, man, they seem to get the memo because he got the memo, man. He
I'm
knocking the
tired.
seam off the ball right
I'm
now, man.
tired.
I mean, he is not. I think he hit 4 home runs in the last 5 games. He's really knocking the seam off the ball, man. I'm glad to see that, knowing that we could potentially lose all three of our outfielders next year: Michael Brantley, George Springer, and also Josh Reddick. So it's good to see, and not only that, he's making plays in the outfield. So that gives me comfort. I'm like you, Pop. I think this year is a scratch. I think we got to look towards next year. Get Altuve to, get back in the groove, right? I like the Correa is really seeing the ball well this year, but this is not the year for us either, man. I don't know who's going to come up in the AL or the NL. The Dodgers will be there. You just got to know that. They're going to be there. Maybe this the year they get theirs. They deserve it. I ain't going to lie to you. They deserve one, man. They got robbed twice. They got robbed twice and shouldn't have lost last year. But we gonna move on because I ain't got that much love for the Dodgers to spend more than 25 seconds on them. Okay, but NFL cuts, man, and re-signs. You know, some of the cuts that was made, I was not surprised. Like Adrian Peterson, right? He old as dirt, man. I mean, he's just like Frank Gore. He just hanging around in the league, but he's still a formidable running back. I'm not saying he's a young spry guy that you could throw the ball to out the backfield, but what I am saying is that he still get the job done, man. He had almost 900 yards last year. You know what I mean? And so a lot of cuts, man, with the Texans. We made a cut that surprised me, man. We cut Greg Mance, backup center. Used to be our starting center. I don't even know who's behind him. You cutting Greg Mance. Cut a tight end that we had a really good rookie year in Jordan Thomas. We cut him. But there was one cut, man, that really surprised me, Pop. You know which one I'm talking about?
The boy in Miami, the quarterback in Miami.
Yeah, Josh Rosen, man. I was surprised that they cut him, man, because I know they got Fitz, right? And I know that Tua Tagovailoa is probably going to be the starter. Maybe not. Maybe Fitz will start off first, first couple of games or whatever. But man, we in the middle of a pandemic and you drop your third string quarterback, who you gonna pick up? And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Josh is like a great quarterback or anything like that, but to drop him like that and not knowing what you're gonna do for your third string quarterback, I was really surprised at that, man. I was surprised.
Yeah, I was too, but I mean, gosh, man, this is what Josh Rosen's third team in 3 years and stuff, man. And I remember when this guy was coming out of high school, man, the most highly touted quarterback in the country.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
In his DNA, And so anyway, hey, speaking of cuts, we cut a duck. Okay, can you believe that? And hey, man, don't get me wrong.
I heard y'all cut the duck, man.
You know what? I think they'll pick him up on the taxi squad. But what we did was, the Jaguars cut Josh, the quarterback from Tennessee, that we drafted.
Yeah, Dogs. Yeah.
Okay, we traded him to Jacksonville last year. We got him back. He's our third string quarterback, which is awesome because I know that they'll have some packages for him. Another person that we picked up was Sean Davis. Sean Davis had been a starter in Pittsburgh before Minka got there. He got hurt, and Pittsburgh didn't offer him the big money. He went to Washington, and so Washington cut him this year. We got him back. So I like that. He has depth now to our secondary. The defense should be really good, man.
Oh, man, it's going to be probably the best in the league, man. Probably going to be the best in the league. Number one defense, for sure.
Yeah, we should be really, really good. But, most of the other – now, I'll tell you something else. It wasn't a cut, but Mitchell Trubisky going to be the starting quarterback for the Bears. Hey, man, I mean, the Bears are going to have a bad season, man. I'm sorry.
I feel so bad for the city of Chicago, for the Windy City, man. I'm not a Chicago Bear fan, but I felt for them, man, because Mitchell Trubisky is not good, man. He's not good. I said this. Remember, you and I talked about this in the draft. Why would you draft him number 2? He's not good. He had one year as the starting quarterback for North Carolina. And yeah, he had a decent season, but he's not good. And Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl, man. And Nick Foles, look, he's freaking Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right? When he on, he on. When he off, he off. But he's better than Mitchell Trubisky. But
I agree.
You're going to have to live with that. Because look what happened. Look what happened to them, Pop. 3 years ago, they went 12-4, won their division. Hadn't won their division in, maybe Jay Cutler's second or third year there.
Right.
Was the last time they won their division. And they in a division that's not that good. You know what I mean? Detroit is trash, right? The Vikings, Kirk Cousins, whatever. And you had an opportunity to capitalize, but you got Mitchell Trubisky, and he's not good. But you named him the quarterback again. So I'm sorry, Chicago. Y'all got to live and die with that guy because he's the incumbent, man. That's who y'all chose. So the But something happened too, man, that saddened me, man. I was very sad that Clowney got signed by Tennessee, man. I was hoping Bill O'Brien would just, extend an olive branch. Cause look what Bill Belichick did with who was it? Chandler Jones?
Right.
Was it Chandler Jones? Not Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones went to Arizona. What was the boy name he sent off to Cleveland and then
Oh
got
yeah,
him back?
yeah, the linebacker. Yeah, I know you're
Yeah, the
talking about.
linebacker. I
Yeah,
can't think of
I
his
know you're talking
name
about.
right now, but sent him over there. He came back. All right. Why wouldn't you do the same with Clowney? Do you know how secure this would have made the city of Houston feel, knowing that you have a disruptive player like Jadeveon Clowney back on the line? Slap him to $20 million. You knew you was
Rich,
gonna pay Deshaun already.
Rich, he only got 12 million for Tennessee, man. Come on now.
Oh, they gave him 12. I didn't even see they gave him
12.
12.
1 year, 12 million.
You know what's crazy about that? Clowney is not a smart person, man. Cleveland offered him 2 years, I think $36 million, $18 million a year, and he turned it down because he didn't want to be in Cleveland. So you took
But
a $6 million pay cut. That ain't no different from Yannick Ngakoue, man, taking a $6 million pay cut because you didn't want to be in Jacksonville.
right.
I
But
don't.
but
These
but his agent
players emotional,
was
man. Go ahead.
his agent was asking for 21 million. Rich, he finally fired this guy. He wasn't gonna get 21 million. Come on, man. You ain't had
Mm,
double digit sacks since you've been in the league, and you want 21 million? He don't
yeah,
operate like that, man. Being
yeah,
an ex-agent and stuff, man. I mean, yeah, you're gonna go in there and shoot for the ceiling, but at some point, you got to understand and realize that your guy ain't put up the numbers and stuff. He had what 3.5 sacks last year, and you want
yep,
$21 million?
yep, yep. And he
Come on,
got hurt last year too. And I mean, that look. $21 million, that's crazy. Okay, that's way, way above his pay grade that he should receive. But $18 million, man, I would have took that. But man, some of these players, man, they not thinking, man. Like Frank Gore, we not Frank Gore, Carlos Hyde. We
yeah,
offered him 2 years, $10 million. Didn't take the deal. Now I think he's in Seattle. He's in
right,
Seattle. He got 1 year, $4 million. I'm like, you could have had $10 million. I think it
yeah,
was like 8 million
yeah.
guaranteed. So no, man, I don't get that, man. Time doesn't allow us to run through all the cuts and re-signs, but I think those were significant. I know there's another one that's significant that I want to mention really quickly. Hometown guy, Josh Gordon. I was very surprised because a week or so after he sold his Super Bowl ring for only about $130,000, he gets signed with the Seattle Seahawks. And to me, that says one thing. Russell Wilson couldn't get Antonio Brown. So he said, hey, man, we need another guy on the other side with DK Metcalf. We need to go get Josh Gordon. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right,
they made it happen, man, because I was like, dude just sold his Super Bowl ring. You know
right.
what I mean? And you get signed, and he done been suspended 65,000 times, but he got the job, man. And it's if he stays there, you know what I'm saying? And he's in Washington, so I don't imagine they're gonna mess with him if he smokes weed. Weed is legal in the state of Washington for recreational use, so he might be good up there. I don't know, but if he stays there, man, they're gonna have a great offense. So that was another significant one. I don't know if there's any other ones you can think of. I didn't have anything written down. This is all off the top of the dome.
No,
Um,
those were the most significant ones.
Yeah. So we're gonna move to a sport, man, that we don't normally talk about on here, man, which is tennis. And I actually watch tennis, not very often, but I'll watch if somebody like Federer, Naomi, or Serena, if those individuals are volleying, I'll cut the screen on. But there's a big match uh with first of all with Serena versus Sloane. And here's the thing. Serena is she is the zenith, the pinnacle, the precipice, the summit. Um, any word, adjective, or term for the highest point that you can go as far as a tennis player is concerned. And if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and she is the best unequivocally. As good as her sister is, even as good as Naomi. I can't say her last name, but young lady, half black, half Japanese lady.
Right.
Um, she's very good, but she's young, and Serena been doing this. She's the most winningest tennis player ever, I think, not just women, but men and women. She was trained, man, from knee high to do it. So if you want to beat the best, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And you just told me about this individual. I've never seen her volley. And what's her name? Sloane Stevens, right?
Sloane Stevens. And the reason that Sloane means so much to me is her father, John Stevens, is my frat brother, played at Northwestern State University where I played. John was a 19, I think, 89 first round pick of the New England Patriots. He was rookie of the year. Played about 3 or 4 years with New England. Played about 3 or 4 years for Green Bay, and retired and got in the trucking business. And actually, John lost his life about 10 years ago in a tragic accident. But I never forget this man as long as I live. We had an opportunity to represent him. And I was up in Indianapolis, man, at the combine. And I remember him coming down the halls, man, after he had run his 40 time. He fried, 4-3, fried, 4-3. He ran a 4.37 at the combine, man. We talking about a
We.
guy that was 6'1", 235 pounds, man, who played offensive guard in high school. Okay, offensive guard, moved to running back. His when he got to Northwestern State and was a first round pick in the National Football League. So kudos to Sloane, and because she's a good tennis player. But hey, I'm glad to see the old lady at 38 years old still rolling.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. And so, definitely, man, just want to take time to commend not only women's sports, man, women in sports, but black women. Black women, man, really coming up. I was proud to see Naomi. I think her last name is Osaki. If I destroyed that, I mean somebody can correct me, man. But a lot of usually people that are mixed they don't really take a side of one or the other. You know what I mean? Kind of like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is never. I haven't heard him say that he's a black man since he was like 17 years old. Okay, and so I look like I lost you, Pop. But anyways, I'm gonna speak on. I'm gonna roll on. But uh Naomi, I think Osaka. I'm gonna just say Naomi. Oh, she she identifies herself as a black woman, and she actually. Oh, I got you back, Pop. I'm gonna pull you back on. All right. I don't know what happened there, but Naomi. Oh, she actually identifies herself as a black woman, man, and actually stood down from a match, man, because of what's going on in this country, man. And I thought that was very significant for her to stand up for what she believes herself to be as a black woman, and that's what she is. And I mean, there's a word in the dictionary called octoroon. Now nobody's really referred to anymore, but an octoroon is basically a person that has 1/8 of African descent in them, and if they have that, you are labeled as an African American. Technically, you used to have to put that as your ethnicity if you had just 1/8. So yeah, but two black women, man, not just I named three of them, but at the top of their game, man, in a sport, man, it's prevalent around the world, man, and I think that's a wonderful thing to see, Pop. Um, and I think it's a wonderful thing to see. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people look at Serena was like, oh, she got a white husband, but look at that baby. You know what I mean? When you see that baby, it's a black baby, man. You know what I mean? That's a black baby, man. And I mean, so that the husband is going to have, just like Kim Kardashian, she's a de facto black mom now. She might not want to be labeled as that, but she got 4 black kids, man. You have to teach them how black people are treated in this country. And I wasn't really going to speak on this part, but I'm going to be really brief. I'm not a pro-black individual. That doesn't mean I'm not for black people. That means I'm not like, what I'm saying, on God or black power. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them dudes. I understand that I'm a black man. I've been treated as such with, racial slurs, racial and bigotry type things done to me, police brutality done to me. But when we talking about how black people are treated in America, I think that a lot of white people or people of other races miss the point. And I'm starting to take issue with people who are having an issue with just the phrase Black Lives Matter. Like, I don't understand the uproar when you have to say all lives matter, right? Yes, all, of course, all lives matter. Black people are part of all, but I hate that there has to be some type of rebuttal or retort when there's clearly an issue. I hate when people try to go grab statistics, right, and say, well, statistics show that a lot of white people get killed by the police too. Okay, that's not what's being talked about though. We talking about this particular people, right? We talking about something that's been going on in this country for years. Why do people feel like it's done away with? That bothers me. Um, it really does, Pop. And I wasn't even gonna bring that up in this show, man, but it's really starting to get to me, man, because I don't understand the uproar. Like, look around, look around you, look who owns everything. Do black people own agro manufacturing companies, agricultural companies? How many buildings downtown in metropolitan cities do black people own? How many black people own an NFL football team or a baseball team or NBA teams? And I know there are black people that own it, that have, so that have ownership there, but how many? Those are the type of questions you have to ask yourself, and ask yourself why. And to expeditiously say this, that here's the thing. Yes, when the Europeans came over here, right, from Europe, it took them years, right, like 100+ years to really establish themselves as a commodity, to commerce amongst the world. So now all of the white people that you see in positions of power, it took time, right? But when black people were brought over here, we were you know relegated for so long that now that we are having an opportunity to come up, it still looks as though, and it still is a little bit, that there's a holding down of black people. And I think that people that ignore that, that is the thing that kind of gets to me. And so I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, Pop. I just had to let that little rant out right there about that. Uh go ahead. What you about to say?
No. Hey, no, well said, man. I mean, I concur with everything you said. So well said.
Yeah, man. But yeah, let's move along, man, because the clock on the wall is saying it's all. But college football is back, and I'm gonna just be completely candid with anyone that listens to this. I didn't even know they was back. I knew they was talking about it, but my dad, I was like, "Hey, Pop, what's going on?" He like, "Man, I'm watching college football." I'm like, "What? College football is on?" I missed the memo. You know what I mean? I missed the
Right.
memo somewhere, man. But what game was you happen to be catching when I text you, Pop?
I was watching Texas State and SMU, and the interest there was a local kid from the Dirty Bay. Calvin Hill was playing for Texas State, 13 carries for 100 yards coming off the bench. And that was very significant because Calvin started the season fifth on the depth chart. And trust me, he moved his way up, got some run, and like I say, put up 100 yards and stuff. So I was watching that game, and I watched a little bit of the Memphis and Arkansas State game. So yeah, college football is back. You gotta feel sorry for those kids in the Big Ten and the Pac-12, man, because I mean it's looking
Yeah,
like this is gonna happen, man, and look like we're gonna probably have a national championship game. And I know there's still some speculation about the Pac-10 maybe trying to. I mean, the Big Ten maybe trying to get started after Thanksgiving, but they won't be a part of the national championship game and stuff. And so they're losing out
right,
on not only a lot of money. I hate it for those kids, those seniors especially, who have an opportunity or who would have had an opportunity to showcase themselves for the NFL scouts and stuff. And maybe the NFL is going to move its draft. I don't think so, because it's going to be in Vegas
right.
this year. It was supposed to be in Vegas last year. Those people lost a lot of money and stuff. And
Yep.
I just don't think the Dale's going to do that. I mean, especially if by that time we have a vaccine, which is looking like we are and stuff. That thing's going to be in Vegas in late April and stuff. And some of those kids may not have even have played their senior season yet. So it's kind of a shame for those kids.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it, Pop, because of the kids that are really trying to get shown by the NFL, and with the XFL shutting down, even though the Rock has purchased it again, would it, kind of gonna act as a farm league as triple A, double A, single A ball does for Major League Baseball? Those opportunities have all diminished for them. But the realistic part about that is Pac-12 and Big Ten colleges don't go to the championship. Matter of fact, I think the last of those two was a Pac-12 team, which was Oregon, right? When
Right,
Mariota was there. I think that was the last team that went to a BCS championship. And so
right,
I think that they're expendable in that sense. You know what I mean? Now it is sad for the players,
right.
but you might see a lot of transfers too, man. I
You
mean,
gonna see that, Rich?
yeah,
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 you gonna
yeah, yeah, man. So I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I think a lot of people are losing a lot of sleep trying to figure out how they're going to proceed amicably in life, man. Pertaining to sports, especially collegiate sports, because their hands are tied. What can you do? What can a guy like Justin Fields? Now, a guy like Justin Fields, he's good, right? Like Ohio State might not be playing, right? But he's still gonna go high in the draft just because they're gonna hype him up, just like they do every year. It's not gonna be any different. They're gonna hype him up, and they're gonna hype, the three or four other quarterbacks up, like the boy in Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. They're gonna hype them all up, man, and he'll end up going early in the first anyway. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Hey, man, look, fun factoid, man. Let me give you a fun factoid. Frank Gore, who I alluded to earlier, who I believe he's the oldest running back in the league right now. Third all time in yards behind Emmitt Smith, and I'm not sure who number two is. Maybe Walter Payton,
Walter
but I know,
Payton.
yeah, Walter Payton. But yeah, I know Emmitt Smith is number one. And his son, he has a son, Frank Gore Jr., who's a true freshman at Southern Mississippi.
Wow.
Who, yes, man. I tripped
Uh,
out. I'm like, God, dog, that made me feel old. I'm like, Frank Gore's only 2 years older than me, man. You know
right,
what I mean? He got an
right.
18-year-old son at Southern Mississippi that's a true freshman. So his dad's still playing in the league, and his son is starting in Southern Mississippi. Now, what would be crazy if you had some Ken Griffey Senior, Ken Griffey Jr. type stuff going on, which I don't think it'll happen, man, because football is too difficult to do that. But uh, I'm not typically a huge college football guy. Yeah, I like watching the big games, but I don't know how they have all this stuff laid out, man. How they even gonna figure it out? What's gonna happen when schools like Arkansas, who you was, looking at, or schools like Texas State, when guys start catching the coronavirus, like what they gonna do? They're gonna have to shut it down. And speaking of that, let me ask you this question, Pop, before we get out of here. Like, what is the UIL gonna do for high school football? What in particular your school? And you don't have to mention them by name unless you want to, but what are they gonna do? Are y'all shutting down for the year? Y'all gonna try to make it through or what?
No, we playing, Rich. We issue our gear tomorrow. We practice tomorrow, and in 2 weeks we got a scrimmage. In 3 weeks we got our first game. No, they're already playing, man. The
Oh,
the the, the 3A and 4A schools are already playing. So yeah, man, it's Texas, man. Let me trust me.
yeah,
Trust
yeah,
me. They could shut down the state, and they're gonna play UIL football. Okay, this ain't
yeah.
basketball. This is hey, this is football. This that tent religion in Texas, okay?
Oh yeah,
Football. We gonna play football, baby. You know,
yeah.
hey, somebody get coronavirus, hey, next man up. I mean, they're not gonna stop. But well, I mean, it's kind of sad, but it's true, Rich.
I know it. I know it.
This this
I,
this is a this is a football state, man, and they don't play with that, man. I mean, they really don't. You can take away their guns, you can take away their dogs and stuff. You can close their buildings and stuff like that. Don't take away football. Don't take
yeah,
away.
they'll go
I'm
out
gonna
there
tell
and
you this
find a
story.
field, man. They'll find a field, mow it, stripe it up, man, and they'll be playing somewhere.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I picked up a lady today, man. Bless her heart. She was probably about 450 pounds, and she could hardly get in my car and stuff. And I had to let the seat all the way up and stuff, man. She was on a cane, and she was on the way to work. And she got in the car, and she said, "Oh," and she was breathing really hard. I'm so glad it's football season. I'm saying to myself, "You're so glad it's football season." I'm so glad you got in my car. I don't know how you gonna get out, but gonna say, "Oh, my hip hurts." You know, I'm so glad it's football season. So this is Texas, man.
Oh my God.
That's all hard. That's all hard, man.
That's good, man. Oh my God, boy! I'm telling you, hey, you know what? You need to start recording your Uber trips, man. Make your YouTube channel, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, boy, that video would have went viral right there. Then you get on there narrated and look, you get in here. I'm thinking your hip jointed and went out. You talking about football? You know what I'm saying?
Made a big sigh of relief, like I thought you were. I'm so glad I got in your country. Oh, I'm so glad it's football season. So anyway,
that's a nice shirt you got on right there, man. Yeah. So, Pop, man, before we get out of here, man, do you have any final thoughts, man?
Yeah, just a couple things, Rich. Milwaukee kept the Golden State Warriors from signing Giannis for one more game at least. They beat the Miami Heat in overtime, 118-115. And Tisdale will not be winning the Triple Crown as he lost yesterday in the Kentucky Derby.
That's good, man. That's good, man. Look, everybody that viewed, I want to shout out to everybody, man. I can't do it right now because when my phone is or whatever, I can't. But everyone that watched, man, I appreciate everybody that's gonna watch. My father and I appreciate y'all, man. We ask that you continue, man, to support what we're doing here. And hopefully eventually, man, we start really pulling in numbers, man, and people understand that this is a show that, you know, aside from my little colloquialisms that I throw on there, this is a show, man, that's real. You know, we talk about sports from our vantage point, you know what I'm saying, from the way we see the same set of spectacles. And it's you know, we're not in here like, you know, eyewitness news individual, you know, where we have this fabricated cadence about what we're talking about. We're talking about what's real, man, and what we see, and we real fans, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. So for me, J.R. Wilson, for my father, Ping Wilson, this is The Solid Grip. Again, share this link, like, subscribe, comment as you see scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and y'all stay with us, man. Grace and peace to all y'all.